So that would be one thing that I would potentially come to somebody and do. Another way, so if you have your own products and you want to figure out a collab with someone else in that dating space, you just want to look at what problems they're having that you can solve. So I know a mentor of mine, he was really big in the dating world way back, a while back. And he had a product that did several $1 million in sales. And he got big because he was one of the first to start figuring out this whole long distance relationship thing, LD.
Sit back and relax and get ready for another exclusive episode of the Online Marketing Secrets Podcast with Lopez.
This episode is brought to you by the best AI software online called Goody. That's Goody. Goody will help you create all content for your blogs, websites, newsletters, articles, ads, and even pictures, LinkedIn posts, Twitter, you name it. All you got to do is go to lopezthesane.com/Goody. That's Goody. And the best part about Goody is absolutely free. That's right. It's free for the first 7 days. You can cancel at any time. Goody will help you create all your contents for your blogs and websites online. And it's 100% absolutely free, full access for the first 7 days. All you got to do, just go to my website. That's lopezthesane.com/Goody. That's Goody. Or just click the link in the show notes and get started today. Welcome to another episode of the Online Marketing Secrets Podcast. I'm your host, Lopez. So like and share this episode. So with that being said, any questions, any concerns, anyone you would like me to bring on, send your emails. Or the easiest way to connect with me is to send your emails at support@kingofcashflowwebsites.com. That's the easiest way to get in contact with me. Or hit me in the DMs on my Instagram. Just click the link below, and that's how you get in contact with me. So today, I have another special guest. If you're an expert, a coach, or some form of content creator, this show is for you. If you want to learn how to earn royalties based on your expertise, your services, your business, your content, if you want to learn how to monetize your books, online courses, or you want to learn how to license your content and have royalties and have passive income, this is the show for you, because my guest has done exactly that. He's been doing this for over a decade now, and I'm looking forward to talk about this. So without further ado, my special guest is James Foster. Welcome to the show. So where you from?
I'm from Minnesota, born and raised.
Oh.
So it's cold here, hence the hoodie. It's, unless it's middle of summer, I'm practically always wearing a hoodie. It's it's just that kind of weather here.
Yeah, I haven't been to that area. Yeah, but I heard it gets cold.
You what? It does. Especially central Minnesota where I'm at, it's not a big populated area, so unless you have a reason to be here, there's not a lot of reason to come here unless you really have something to do. So not a big touristy area.
Gotcha. So how'd you get started online? And
Sure.
This is not like at least for most people I know, this is not like our dream job. This is not something we grew up and our parents asked us, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Oh, right. No. Yeah. I'm sure my folks wanted me to do so many other things. So I guess I got started. I I started full-time online at the end of '08. My birthday is in November. At the time, I was just about to turn 25, and the bank that I worked at, they didn't want to give me off for my birthday because I was going to go to Vegas. Because it's around the holidays, they get busy, people taking out money, all that kind of stuff. So they didn't want to approve that. And I just kind of decided, well, I'm 25 and I don't necessarily want to be here the rest of my life, so I'm just going to quit. So I quit, went to Vegas with my then girlfriend, now wife. We had a good time there for a week. When I came back, I was like, kind of figure out what to do. And, one of the benefits that I had at the bank job was it was at one of the first online banks. So it was more like a call center than anything. But when I was working with mortgages and accounts and stuff, I had a lot of time to listen to audiobooks. So one of the audiobooks I listened to while I was there was The 4-Hour Workweek, as so many people got into it with. So yeah, I had this idea that I wanted to go online after I came back from Vegas, and that's kind of where it started. I floundered around for the first few years, eventually had a successful kind of what I now call a profitable collab with a company where they're in the FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon space. So they have a whole course on selling wholesale products on Amazon, and I was into that area, so I kind of got into how to do it, all that kind of stuff. And I realized that it was really time consuming to do this manually, to go to Amazon, figure out what products are selling well, and, just kind of collect the data from, their millions of listings. So I had the idea to get a piece of software created that would do this for me. I don't know how to code or anything like that. So I went to what was then Odesk, it's now Upwork, and I just paid somebody $300, told them what I wanted, and they got me the software made. After I got the software made, I realized this is really cool. It works really well, but not only could I benefit from it, it wouldn't hurt me. It wouldn't hurt what I'm doing if other people use the software too. So I did some outreach to people who had audiences in this FBA kind of space, met this partner from a cold DM, we talked, and eventually we took my software and kind of launched it as a very micro software as a service kind of thing. And that quickly turned into my first 6-figure business. Me and him split the 6 figures. So I didn't create the software. I didn't have to do the marketing because he had the audience and he already knew them well. All I did was had the software created, and I spent about an hour a month running that software and got paid for that. So I was pretty hooked on doing profitable collabs after that because this required so little of my time, and yeah, it was so profitable. They're not all like that, of course, but yeah, that's kind of what's got me started in doing profitable collabs with different people in different ways.
Wow. Yeah, that's a hell of a ride, man. You know what? Now that you mention Amazon, I got started with selling products on Amazon.
There you go.
Yeah, I started. Somebody told me about I think they had like a book auction in my town at the time. I went to the book auction and got boatloads of books. And,
sure.
This is when Amazon was known for books at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got started, So
that's awesome.
So how did you what kind of, online marketing the bank was doing that you was working at?
So back then, that bank was called ING Direct. That's not a company anymore. They were bought by Capital One, and they've changed all kinds since then. So I don't even know what's all involved there. I know the building is still. Actually, I think they might have just sold the building. So I don't even know that they're in Minnesota anymore. But yeah, that's where it all started when I was working there.
Yeah, was there anything you were doing at that job that you applied online moving forward?
Honestly, not really. I mean, I guess sales. I was in sales for a couple of years. I was at the bank from like 20 to 25, and I was so young, like I had no idea what I was going to do or what I wanted to do. So I was in lots of different departments. I started in sales, got good at that, went into mortgage sales, which was kind of their higher sales position. And then I did some stuff on the back end where you were working with the loans, that kind of thing. So I was all over the place. So no, not more than the selling, I guess, and talking to people was certainly helpful. I know a lot of people want to avoid, they start online businesses to avoid talking to people. I honestly, I felt the same way. That's how I kind of started too. But yeah, I found more and more that it's almost a superpower, that if you can sit and have a conversation with somebody and get to know them, understand what they're going through or their challenges on something, you can make something happen between that can work for everybody.
So, hey, how did you even know that you could even do a collab with anybody at the time? Because, when I first got started, even years after I got started on Amazon, I didn't know I could do a collab with somebody until 5-6 years later. It didn't even cross my mind until I went to like an event at the time.
Sure. So back in 2008, there was a place called the Warrior Forum. It's still there, warriorforum.com.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not nearly as popular as it was back then. This was like pre-Facebook groups. So that's kind of where everyone hung out. And in the Warrior Forum, they had what's called a WSO section, the Warrior Special Offers, where people sold stuff. And even there, back then, you would still see team-ups all the time. This person and that person would release a $7 info course or something like that. And that's kind of where it all started. You got that there was, you could if you could do something, you could either launch something yourself to the people on the Warrior Forum, or you could team up with someone who already had a reputation, and then you could launch something, build your own audience that way, and hopefully start a pretty decent business. So that's kind of where it all came from for me. Is I got to know a few people on the Warrior Forum, and from there we created a few different products, some different businesses, most of them, one-shot kind of things. And that's kind of where I got my start figuring out how to set these kind of things up with people.
Yeah, I've been on the Warriors Forum, but I didn't really do anything with it. So how do you okay, like when you meet someone on there, I don't know what's on the Warriors Forum. I don't know. Is it do like when you structure collabs, can you do that on the Warriors Forum as far as
they had their own PM system. You can send your own private messages through there back and forth. Generally, you just had something that you wanted to do, or you had a skill, or you had an idea for a product. Maybe you figured out how to do an SEO trick, or how to, back then, it was huge. Because I'm talking 08, 09, so Facebook just got started, just kind of became public to everybody, and these are the early days of when Facebook ads just launched. So it was new then, right? People were going on there messing around, figuring out how to do Facebook ads. So there were all kinds of courses, even back then, about doing Facebook ads. And so if you figured out a trick on, like, I remember guys like friends of mine, like back then, Don Wilson, figured out how to run ads to make big fan pages for like dog breeds, and they built entire businesses off of dog breeds, like Doberman Pinschers or whatever. And so he would take that information, he did great with the dog page itself, and then he'd come back to the Warrior Forum and then create something and sell something on how he did that. So if you had something, you figured out how to do something, you could collab with other people to get that out there.
Yeah, so I guess it's similar to ClickBank, but ClickBank just don't have they don't have the I guess you can't really blog, and they don't really have a forum.
It's not a community. It's not a forum or a community on ClickBank, whereas Warrior Forum is a forum community.
Okay, so when it comes to your software, how did you know it was useful? I mean, how did you know that maybe this company would it would be useful for? How did you know that? How did you figure all that stuff out?
Well, I mean, so I created it because I needed it, right? It was useful to me.
Okay.
So I knew it was useful to me, and there were other people doing the same kind of thing that I was doing because they took these courses just like I did. And so they were doing the same manual process I was, and I automated that. So I knew if it was valuable to me, it'd be valuable to other people. So from there, it was pretty easy to just figure out who could get it to more people.
Okay. So once you I'm assuming you did a lot more collabs since then.
Yes, I have. Yep, lots of different ways to do it.
Yeah. So how do you? Okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. Let's say I have a YouTube channel. I'm in the dating niche, right? And let's say I have a channel of, I don't know, I got 30,000 subscribers. I got 3 books. I got a pretty good following. I'm not attached to no big brands or anything like that, but I'm doing okay. My followers, I interact with them. They spend money, they buy my books, they buy my digital courses or whatever, So let's say I want to collab with somebody that not necessarily doing something the same, but in the similar niche. So how would I guess, reach out and find some of these other people?
Yeah, so 2 big things come to my mind. If you have an audience like that, 30,000 subscribers, and maybe you've got a few products, but you're pretty much doing things on your own, maybe someone like me might come to you to say, hey, let's start a newsletter. You keep doing what you're doing. I'll run the whole newsletter. All you got to do is put a link in your description leading to the newsletter to get people on it. I'll take care of writing the newsletter. I'll take care of finding advertisers for it, and we'll just split the money I make you, right? So that would be one thing that I would potentially come to somebody and do. Another way, so if you have your own products and you want to figure out a collab with someone else in that dating space, you just want to look at what problems they're having that you can solve. So I know a mentor of mine, he was really big in the dating world way back, a while back. And he had a product that did several $1 million in sales. And he got big because he was one of the first to start figuring out this whole long distance relationship thing. LDRs is what they were called back then, or probably still are called. So he would just go to people in the dating market and say, hey, do you have people in LDRs? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do. Well, did they ever send you really long emails about their situations? Oh my God, yes. I get all these 10, 12-page emails or physical mail, and that is sometimes about people telling me about their situations, looking for help. Cool. I have a product that helps that's great for long distance relationships. That's really all it needs to be, because they have this person you're reaching out to has the problem, right? They're getting all these messages about long distance relationships, and they don't have anything that's going to help them. They're just getting all these people talking about it, but don't have much to give them. He had something to sell them, and so it worked out really well because that's exactly what they needed. So really, you're just finding a gap, right? You're looking for a gap in what they're doing, because you can't do everything. I mean, a Ferrari is a great car, but there's still things not to like about it. They're low to the ground. You can only drive them in certain places. Like I wouldn't drive it in Minnesota, especially in the winter. So there's always kind of things that even something really great doesn't check every box for everybody. So you just want to find those gaps and provide a solution to that gap.
Yeah, that sounds good to me, man. So from there, you had success doing whatever you was doing. But how did you know the mastermind groups?
I didn't start any mastermind groups. I sold mastermind groups for people who had them.
Gotcha.
Yep. So they were selling these 30K mastermind groups, and our agency would handle the sales for them so that we could do it without phone calls. So they didn't have to have people on payroll doing these phone calls all the time. We handled everything through text and email and DMs. And I mean, just the scale alone, right? One person can only talk to one person on the phone, and it's normally a half-hour call. I can have myself 4-6 conversations in email and DMs, right? So I can have, just by sheer scale, I can help more people quicker. And so our agency, we would sell those things for them and just take a percentage of the sales that we make for them.
Gotcha. So when it comes to these collabs, what's the percentages split? Well, I guess well, I mean, I guess I'm not going to say average, but how do you do it?
It's always going to depend on the situation, right? You're going to go to this partner, and I never want to be an expense to them, right? I don't want to come to them saying, pay me so much money and I'll do this. I want to come to them and say, I'm going to do this, and then how about we split what I do for you? The split, that totally depends on the situation, on the deal. Really big deals, when there's a lot of money involved, there's generally a lot of costs involved too. So you never want to be greedy. So I personally like to give my partners the lion's share of anything I do, because I can, and because it's better for me in the long run. If I'm squeezing every penny out of you, you're going to find a way at some point to get rid of me, right? You're going to figure out a way to do it yourself, or find someone else who can do it cheaper than I can, or at a smaller percentage. So I think long term, I want to work with just a few people for a really long time. So I'm going to make sure you get the best deal possible, because I want to keep this relationship going as long as possible. I want to keep producing results that's going to make both of us money for as long as possible.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. And if I had to do it all over again, man, I would have. I tell people to do collabs with people all the time. If I had to do it all over again, that's how I would have got started. And plus, you grow faster and you can do more if you collaborate.
Yeah.
So
it's just a matter of putting yourself out there. Enough people don't put themselves out there.
Yeah. So if I know you probably meet people from time to time, and they're maybe they're thinking about getting started online. Maybe they want to get started with social media, or maybe they want to get started promoting other people's products. Maybe it's something on Amazon. What do you recommend they do?
Yeah, I think collabs are always a good way to start. I mean, it really depends on the type of business you want to be in, right? If you want to be an affiliate marketer, but you don't have much of a budget and you don't have an audience, you would probably want to create something, even if it's from a private label rights product or something. You want to get some kind of product that's good, that solves a problem. And then, like we were talking before, you go to somebody who already has an audience, who has a product, and get it included. So you kind of license what you have to them. So if you're in that dating, actually dating is a great example, because this happened. It was many years ago now, probably 5-10 years, but every dating offer for years and years, they always had one bonus. It was, I can't think of the exact name. It was something like 101 date night ideas.
Oh yeah.
Every product that came out had that bonus with it.
Yeah.
There was one guy who created that bonus, and he just went to all the people launching dating products and got it put in there. Because if you're in a relationship, what do you need? Ideas for dates. After a while, things get stale, especially if you're in, a small town or something like that. There's not a lot of things to do. Ideas are super helpful. He built a big business just off of getting other people to give away that ebook, because there was affiliate links in the ebook. I'm sure he built a list from the ebook so he could then, market his own courses to them. But yeah, he started by just getting other people to give away that ebook.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%, man. I wish I knew all this when I first got started. But hey, hopefully this will help other people that are just getting started or thinking about getting started. So if people wanted to reach out to you online, where would they go to?
So if you want to reach out to me personally, you can find me. My username everywhere is pretty much James Makes Deals. So Facebook.com/JamesMakeDeals, Twitter.com/JamesMakesDeals, LinkedIn even, same thing. So that's if you want to get a hold of me, reach out. Would love to have a conversation with you about what you're doing. If you are a coach or expert and you have an offer that maybe it's something that sold well in the past that maybe your focus isn't on anymore, I would then recommend going to royaltyrockstars.com. We've got a community of other people as well who have different products that they want to license out. So you can find somebody in royaltyrockstars.com who might either have an audience to put your product into to get it to make more sales with it. Or there's also people in there who will do licensing, almost like a licensing agent for you, where they will take your product and then go find places to put it in for you, and they'll just take a percentage. So it won't cost you anything, and you can get some of your assets into other people's flows to make more sales or build a bigger audience.
There you have it. Like, share this episode. All links will be found in the show notes. Until next time, we're out. Peace.